Hello and welcome. This is the abbreviated West Virginia University football podcast at earsports.com. I am Mike Casazza back in the groove here. Football back. We're on a Tuesday morning and not a Thursday talking about basketball. Round ball that'll come around the corner before you know it. We already have an overlap in the schedule. October 18, exhibition game at home for the basketball team. Home game a day later for the football team. Not sure I'm ready for that, but don't have to be ready for that just yet. We have to get ready to talk about three things concerning the Mountaineers as they transition from an open week to the first Big 12 road game of the season. And boy, do people have thoughts on this. They are dug in, established, convicted, passionate opinions about the teams they root for and the ones they have to push against right now. Everybody's got this figured out, but we're still going to play this game because no one's got either team figured out right now. And it just occurs to me that this is the nature of college football, and certainly the Big 12. You add quality teams in back-to-back years to this conference. You're not only increasing the membership, but when you add good teams to what already is a pretty good crop of teams, right? You're going to have more of these marquee matchups. And truth of the matter is, it's not even been contained to conference play when good conference teams have played each other. Arizona, Kansas State, non-conference game. Baylor, Utah, non-conference game. But already just in a couple of weeks of Big 12 play, we've seen some ranked battles, and we've seen one team left at the side of the road trying to figure out what to do after an early season loss. West Virginia not in that boat right now, 1-0. But boy, people have been finding me during the week, checking in. Hey, how you doing? I'm mending, by the way. Mending, mending, mending. I'll get back. But also, like, hey, what do you think? Like, can he do it to Mike Gundy? Is he a contender or is he a pretender? Is Jaheim White going to be all right? Is Garrett Green going to scramble? Will they tackle Ollie Gordon? And I said, I don't know. And they said, what do we need to do? And I say, hey, you know the drill. You need a podcast about the Mountaineers. Three topics on the tip of our tongue. One starts with the W, one starts with the V, one starts with the U, and away we go. The W today stands for weather. I'm going to have some fun with this one here because if you've been to Stillwater, if you've watched a game on TV, you know the weather could be anything. This week, you're looking at high 90s, high 80s, mid 90s, probably high 80s to low 90s at kickoff on Saturday. Right now in Morgantown, that heat is broken. It's been kind of gray and rainy, cool temps for a little bit. Will it heat back up this week? Maybe, maybe not. Bring this up because this might be a game for like the trenches. This might be a game for your strength and conditioning coaches. This might be a game for depth purposes. West Virginia intends to be a running team, right? CJ Donaldson, Jaheim White. Well, on the other side, Ollie Gordon, who just hasn't gotten on track this season. It's going to happen sooner or later, but why not in the third or fourth quarter in this game for one of these two offenses? Also important to note is that Oklahoma State does not get sacked. The quarterback, Alan Bowman, say what you will about him, one sack this season. He has one of the lowest time to throw releases in the country. Can you get after him? Do you keep revving up your engine as a pass rusher? And what does that do to you in the third and fourth quarter? Because look at these teams. They play some games that have come down to the third and fourth quarter. Good wins, bad losses. That's kind of the reason that they have the records that they do right now. And also, the last time West Virginia went to Stillwater, like an ice storm, it was cold and rainy, just miserable. If you're familiar with Stillwater, the wind comes in cross patterns, odd directions. It can whip up out of nowhere. And then the other W, Bart, that I want to bring up here is you have to weather the schedule. West Virginia, coming off an open week, has not taken a flight this season. Bus to Pittsburgh. This will be a new experience for them. Got to get used to that. Oklahoma State definitely has to weather the schedule. They are one of the few teams remaining that has played 5 games in 5 weeks. They also have seen the 12th most snaps on offense this year and the 6th most snaps on defense. That's in the entire country. They've seen a lot of football. And just think about body blows, right? In succession, they have played the best FCS team in the country, Arkansas from the SEC. They played a road game at Tulsa. I don't know what a Power 5 team is doing. Getting on a bus and traveling to a rival, not something you want to be doing when it's a group of 5 team. Then they open Big 12 play with Utah at home and at Kansas State. Those are major, major opponents in succession and no breaks there. Again, you get your G5 team, but it's a road game. You're playing an FCS team, but it's the best one out there. You're playing back-to-back conference games, one at home, one on the road against top 10, top 15 teams in the country. It's difficult and it adds up after a while. Can Oklahoma State get through? Because it has a vacation waiting. That's what I want to use for the V right now. The vacation is waiting. The vacation has already happened for West Virginia. How will the Mountaineers be different? Who will be on the field or better, healed, more effective, more obvious than in the first 4 games? To listen to the head coach explain it, Neal Brown, probably not anybody. As he said, the roster is the roster. There's not a whole lot of people in the bullpen. They might have developed one or two true freshmen or maybe like second or third line players who can help out. You might not even notice that. They might be practice players. They might be on hand in case something happens later in the season. The vacation nevertheless comes at a good time because, boy, the back-to-back games they played Pitt and Kansas, they surely think they should be 3-1. 2-2 seems about fair. I think they'd probably rather have played last Saturday than be off last Saturday because the momentum was such after the Kansas game. But there's nothing wrong with playing four, getting a break. And then, by the way, playing four and getting a break because how about this schedule for West Virginia? We just talked about Kansas State and Utah back-to-back in Big 12 play for Oklahoma State. Well, for West Virginia, Oklahoma State, Iowa State, Kansas State, Arizona, road, home, home, road, and then a break. Don't want to look too far ahead of that second vacation. You got to get through those four games because Oklahoma State does get a vacation right now. They will play their sixth game and then they'll have a week off. And that's important because we talk about a coach's record after a bye. What about before a bye? What about taking a team that is staggering right now, or that is soaring, or that is struggling? But taking a team in this state of disrepair like Oklahoma State and getting it to the open week with a win and changing the mood that has been hovering above Stillwater for 2 weeks now. That's a sign of a really good coach, and Mike Gundy certainly has the gravitas to give you that benefit of the doubt. Does he have the roster that can do it? Does he have the game plan that can do it? We'll see. We'll find out. But there's got to be something there that can help him weather the first couple of games and then also get his team to the vacation coming up. Finally, unison. That is how West Virginia is talking right now. This is a one-game season for them. They're 1-0. They can be 2-0, and you can stomp out Oklahoma State. You're going to have to leapfrog teams if you want to establish footing in the Big 12 this season, but also in the future. And you can do that by getting a win. Trouble is, a road game is a tough thing for Neal Brown at West Virginia. Did some math here. I'm also pretty mad at Jake Hart 304 on the board because he stole my thunder with some good stats that he presented. So I'm going to crib a little bit. These are mine. They're his too, but they exist. We just happen to have the same minds here. Neal Brown, 8-14, 9-14 on the road. That's not great. How about 3-7 in September, 2-7 in October? And that's deflating because when he gets to November, 5-4, that's okay. But you want to get your team excited in September, and then you want to start to make a move in October. And you have to win road games to do that. That hasn't been happening so far. Why is that record of note right now? Well, they have a chance, but also their mindset is that, yeah, they're 1-0 and the other team is 0-2. And yeah, they could put Oklahoma State in the rearview mirror. And yeah, these next couple of games shape up for them to make a move if they are who they think they are. But what happens against Iowa State and Kansas State and Arizona will matter on those Saturdays in succession. It will not matter on a Saturday in Stillwater. So the goal is to go 1-0 this week, and then 1-0 next week, and then 1-0 the week after. And it's kind of funny, but Neal Brown, he's kind of had this mantra for a while, but he said that he went up to Pittsburgh with Garrett Green to watch Garrett Green's dad, who is the bullpen coach for the Brewers. Bullpen. And he got to be around the players, and he found a T-shirt that had a motto that was very similar, and it was just play for the night, win this one tonight. I forget what exactly he said, but it just kind of stuck in his head that, yeah, here are professional athletes who have the same mantra that his team has to have. That's a team that is in the playoffs, has done very well this season above expectation. Neal Brown coaches a team that could be in the playoffs if it does play above its level of expectation the rest of the way. So you have one thought from here on forward. In unison, players and coaches saying, just go 1-0.